One of my absolute favorite things in all of Magic the Gathering has returned. Tinker and a Bolas Citadel. That's what we're doing today in Vintage. Let's go check it out. Tinker and a Bolas Citadel. I love it so much. And if you're unfamiliar with these two broken cards, we'll go over it real quickly. Tinker, a 3-mana sorcery for 2 and a blue, is an additional cost. You sacrifice an artifact, search your library for an artifact, put it onto the battlefield. And then you get Bolas Citadel from War of the Spark for 3, and then triple black, 6 mana total for a legendary artifact. You can look at the top card of your library at any point, and then you may pay life equal to mana value and play cards from the top of your library. And then it has a third mode that a lot of people forget. Tap in and sacrifice 10 non-land permanents. Each opponent loses 10 life. This is honestly your win condition. You win a lot of the time with this ability. You can either untap it using Manifold Key. You could sacrifice it to itself and then recast it off of Yawgmoth's Will. And that's how you win a lot of matches. The question is, how do you get 10 permanents when you only have 12 artifacts here to sacrifice, and one of them is Black Lotus, another being the Bolas Citadel itself? Well, that might not seem as obvious, but we are playing a Hull Breacher today. And if you're unfamiliar with this card, if an opponent would draw an additional card each turn, instead you create a treasure token. So they don't draw the cards and you get a treasure. So you combine that with Time Twister that you can play multiple times off of something like Yawgmoth's Will, and then you create, I don't know, 14 treasures, and then you sacrifice those to the Bolas Citadel. Alternatively, you could just take infinite turns using the Manifold Key and Time Vault, and then attack your opponent to death with a Hexing Squelcher or an Urza Saga Construct. That's the idea. And if you don't know what just happened in Vintage recently, NYSC, the New York Stack Exchange, a big Vintage tournament happened, and this deck took second place. And I love this archetype. I've played Tinker most of my time in Vintage. During the early pandemic era, I won an absolute tear in Vintage with Paradoxical Outcome with Tinker and a Bolas Citadel. And then I actually built the deck that my very good friend Alex McKinley won the 2021 North America Eternal Weekend with. And I just have a really strong passion for the card. I love it so much. It's just a lot of fun. And that's why I'm thrilled to be playing this deck for you here today. But I am not running the exact 75 from the NYSE tournament. I did run it yesterday in a camera offline, or a league off camera. I don't know how to talk anymore, please forgive me, but hopefully you know what I mean. Anyway, I wasn't recording, but I played the deck. And what I found was I lost to the Bizarre Baghdad decks a lot because the sideboard had no graveyard hate in it whatsoever. So today I'm playing 4 copies of Leyline of the Void in the board instead of some of those I'll say more cutesy cards in the sideboard. Like, I don't think we actually need something like an Opposition Agent. Pyroblast felt pretty bad. So instead, I'm running a sideboard that I've constructed myself. I've managed to keep some of it. Like, the Long Goodbye and the Dismember split seemed to make sense to me. I got rid of the second Hercules Recall, things like that. So minimal changes. But why is this deck viable again? Really, because if you look at the last few years of Vintage, Lurrus of the Dream Den decks have dominated. So why would you go back to playing Tinker into Bolas Citadel? Because you need a really good reason to not be playing Lurrus of the Dream Den. And in this deck, really, your only other card other than Bolas Citadel is that one Hull Breacher. So it doesn't necessarily seem worthwhile. And I think a big change that is being overlooked is that the card advantage that Lurrus of the Dream Den provided is now found in another way. So we have Flow State from Secrets of Strixhaven. I'm sure most of you know what it does. It's a multi-format all-star. And then Stock Up, which is a similar card that was printed the prior year. So with these 2 cards in the format now, you can accelerate into them off of all of your broken artifact mana. So your Mox Sapphire, your Mox Ruby, etc. And then you have Lorien Revealed as well for that late game. But Lorien Revealed is also built into your mana base. Fun fact about Lorien Revealed, it's also a sorcery for Flow State. So in your deck with 6 forces in the main deck between Force of Negation and Force of Will, you often have early interaction, plus cycling a Lorien Revealed turns Flow State on very quickly. And I think with the card advantage from those 12 cards, you don't necessarily need to be playing Lurrus of the Dream Den anymore, and that allows you to play something like Bolas Citadel instead, which, you know, has a special place in my heart. So that's my deck tech today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, but for now we're going to hop on into that first match, and I hope to see you then. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, cyborg guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We are on the play. Is this even good? I can turn 1 Demonic Tutor for Black Lotus, turn 2 Citadel, and then follow it up with Yawgmoth's Will. Maybe this is okay? I'm not even sure. We'll play Mox Jet, Demonic Tutor, go grab Black Lotus, we'll play it, pass the turn. They play Misty Rainforest. My best draw is like Flusterstorm, Mox Sapphire, okay. We will attempt Bolas' Citadel. They have Force of Will, exiling Dig Through Time. We will pass. They search out Underground Sea and Brainstorm. Now they ponder. They play Mox Sapphire. 5 cards in their hand. Play Underground Sea. Attempt a Yawgmoth's Will. It resolves. We'll play Black Lotus. And let's try Bolas' Citadel. Hexing Squelcher. Okay. Chain of Vapor will bounce Mox Jet. Chain of Vapor is actually insane here because it makes mana so I can play the Demonic Tutor from the graveyard. Play Mana Crypt, Mox Sapphire, Mox Jet. And now we'll play Demonic Tutor. Shuffles the library. What is the best card even here? Is it like Time Walk? I'll grab Mystical Tutor, I think, because that gives me another shuffle if I can find it. There it is. And I guess I'm playing Mystical Tutor right away. Yeah, I guess I'm getting Time Walk here. Play the Time Walk. Flow State. Take the... I'll take another Flow State, actually. And now we'll play the Flow State to get rid of the land on top. Take the Soul Ring. Another Flow State. Pick a stock up. Vexing Bauble. And unfortunately, I have to pass the turn. Alright, Mana Crypt. This is our Time Walk turn, by the way. I don't think I want to spend 5 life on Lurrus Revealed. I will begin by playing Soul Ring. And then we'll play Stock Up. Take Lurrus Revealed and Vampiric Tutor. Play the Mox Ruby. My spells still cannot be countered. Okay, it looks like I hit the combo of Hull Breacher plus Time Twister. I'm at 7. We'll play Vampiric Tutor. This will bring me down to 5. Time Twister. And I go down to 2. Time Twister. We'll play Mox Emerald. Tap the Mox Emerald and the Mox Ruby. We'll play Stock Up, floating a red, I guess. Time Vault. Stock Up. We'll tap the Tolarian Academy for roughly infinite mana. We'll play Stock Up. We find Key. So now we have the win. We'll play Manifold Key. We'll play Time Vault. Play our land for turn. I will untap the Time Vault. Take an extra turn. Use the Bolas' Citadel. We'll select Mana Crypt and a bunch of treasures here. After that, maybe Mox Emerald, Mox Ruby. Looks like I'm missing a treasure. Oh, and the opponent concedes. So we've taken game number 1. Not really sure what they're playing, but it appears to be a fair deck. They did not reveal Lurrus of the Dream Den. Or at least I don't believe that they did. No, the log says they did not. So they're probably a combo deck. So we'll say Mindbreak Trap, Hull Breacher, get rid of the Chain of Vapor. We're at 63. Maybe get rid of the top deck tutors here, Mystical Tutor and Vampiric Tutor. We're trying to be a little bit more reactive. Maybe we'll shave 1 Lurrus Revealed. Let's try this. I mean, this is a really good hand if you can draw a blue mana. And I just boarded out a Lurrus Revealed. I know that it's greedy, I'm going to keep it. Because if you do hit the blue mana, this hand is perfect. They play Flooded Strand into Ponder. Sure. Now they play Mox Sapphire. 5 cards still in hand. They cycle Street Wraith, so they're playing Doomsday. And another Ponder. Can I draw a blue mana off the top? I can. Had it the whole time. I don't know why you didn't believe in me. It's just good deck building, let me tell you. We'll play Soul Ring. Now we'll fetch. We will grab Underground Sea. Play Stock Up. They're going to Force of Will, exiling Thassa's Oracle. I will Force Will back, exiling Flusterstorm. Stock up. Tinker and Flow State. Pass the turn. They have 3 cards in their hand. They play Misty Rainforest. We will Mental Misstep on the Thoughtseize. Glad I pitched Flusterstorm instead. I was like waffling back and forth there. I wasn't sure what the right play was. They're going to Surveil. They likely have another Street Wraith in their hand and they're digging for a Flusterstorm. And here's the Street Wraith. And there it is. So if they drew into it, who knows? But our Mental Misstep will be countered. They have 1 card in their hand. I'm just going to Force of Negation the Thoughtseize and then probably kill them. So your Flusterstorm worked. And now we each have 1 card. Mana Crypt, Tails, Mindbreak Trap. We'll Tinker, sacrificing the Mana Crypt. Bolas' Citadel. I guess I'm spending 5 life on Lorien Revealed. I'm playing Vexing Bauble. I am cycling the Vexing Bauble to draw into Yawgmoth's Will. Demonic Tutor, so that gets Black Lotus here. Is your last card in hand a Mindbreak Trap? Is that why you're thinking about this Demonic Tutor? Okay, they just concede instead. Alright, that's one way to start a league, and we are now 1-0. Packs.com is the new way to open your favorite cards. It's a site where you open digital packs of trading cards like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and One Piece cards, and have the cards you open mailed quickly and securely to you. With a wide range of packs to choose from, such as the latest Magic sets, Kaladesh Inventions, or even Beta. I'm going to open a Beta pack. What's great about Packs.com is you can see all of the cards and their odds of being opened in each pack. Now it's time to open one and see what I get. Come on, Black Lotus! If you don't like what you opened, you could sell it back instantly for more packs, or sell it and pick a specific card from the marketplace over at packs.com/market. If you want to check out packs.com, make sure to click the link in the description of this video and use code STORM5 when making a purchase for 5% extra on your first purchase. Round number 2, we're on the draw. I have an Ancestral Recall and a Hexing Squelcher, so I could try to play the slow game here, but I don't know what they're playing. They did not reveal a Lurrus of the Dream Den. I almost feel like this hand is too slow. Like, Ancestral Recall is obviously broken, but the rest of the hand, maybe I'm crazy for wanting to send this back, but it seems too slow to me. I'm going to mulligan. It's like the same hand. I guess I'll keep bottom Thundering Falls. They fetch with Polluted Delta for Basic Island and Ponder. They did not shuffle. Regretting my mulligan decision now that I know they're playing Fair Blue. We find Flusterstorm. That's a wonderful draw here because it can protect my Ancestral Recall. They cycle Lorien Revealed for a Tundra. I will fetch. We'll grab Thundering Falls. Keep the Urza Saga. The Ancestral Recall. I will Flusterstorm. So this means they probably had Counter Magic backup, so me playing the Ancestral Recall would actually be a bad move. They're thinking about double countering here, I think. They have Misdirection. So they're pointing my Flusterstorm at my Flusterstorm, and I cannot pay. So now they'll draw 3, and they have 6 cards in their hand. Yikes. We'll play Urza Saga. Pass the turn. Blooded Strand. Tropical Island. Into Mox Pearl. 5 cards. Up the Beanstalk. Okay. Quantum Riddler. Yeah, you're playing a Legacy deck in Vintage. The Misdirection now makes a little bit more sense. They have 6 cards in their hand. Yawgmoth's Will. We'll play the island and pass. They have Caracas. And now they play the Quantum Riddler. Back up to 7 cards in their hand. I think I'm supposed to just Mystical Tutor here for Flusterstorm. Like, the Construct token doesn't help me. Okay. Sure. Now we'll draw. Anchor. Interesting. We'll grab Mana Crypt. I mean, they definitely have a Force. I want to Ancestral Recall, but I'm afraid of it getting Misdirectioned. I'm going to attempt Ancestral Recall here. The Force of Will, exiling Ponder. My 7-card hand would have been so good. Bummer. I will play Tinker, sacrificing Mana Crypt. It resolves Bolas' Citadel. We'll play Hexing Squelcher. And now I will cycle with Lorien Revealed to get rid of this Force of Will. We'll grab another Volcanic Island. Play the Hull Breacher, play Volcanic Island, and pass. So if I was holding priority, in theory, I could have spent 5 life to target my own Hull Breacher. I don't even know if I would have done that, but maybe I should be holding priority on every spell. They're playing Treasure Cruise into my Hull Breacher. Yeah, you got it. Thank you for the treasures. Now they're going to Prismatic Ending. We will Force of Will the Prismatic Ending. And they attack for 4. I will go to 5. My top card is Time Vault. We have Tinker in the graveyard, which means that I can just go get Manifold Key. And this should be pretty easy. They cycle a Lorien Revealed for a Tundra. 4 cards in their hand. I can pay a couple life here for a flow state. We'll take Mox Sapphire and a land. Mox Pearl. We'll play Mox Sapphire. Guess I'll go to 2 and play the Brainstorm. Put back 2 lands. I guess I should have put back the Black Lotus. That's a mistake on my side. Sacrifice Black Lotus. We'll play Yawgmoth's Will. Play Black Lotus. Mana Crypt. And our opponent concedes. So some sort of control deck. We'll bring in the other Hull Breachers. Maybe the Long Goodbye. Maybe a Braid. These traditionally are not very good Force of Negation matchups. And typically, top deck tutors like Mystical Tutor and Vampiric Tutor are not ideal here. Oh, I accidentally brought in a Leyline of the Void. Yeah, I don't want that. Maybe I don't need two. Well, I guess Chain of Vapor versus a Braid. They're both kind of bad. I also don't know if I want anything like that. I guess like Chain of Vapor isn't out if they have like a Deafening Silence or something along those lines. We'll leave in 1 Force of Negation. And let's submit. Game 2 on the draw. This is a very good hand. Keep. Black Lotus. Tropical Island. Up the Beanstalk, sure. They play Ponder. So I'm fine with them having up the Beanstalk when I have double Hull Breacher in hand, because my game plan is to just cast Hull Breachers. And now they cycle a Lorien Revealed. 5 cards in their hand. Vexing Bauble. We'll play the Mox Sapphire. Play the Bauble. I don't even know if I want this to resolve. I am honestly not sure. They're going to counter it. I think I'm okay with that. We'll play Urza Saga, pass the turn. They have Wasteland. We'll cycle the Lorien Revealed. I do need another mana for a Hull Breacher, though. 4 cards in their hand. There we go. Pass the turn. They play the Tundra. Lavinia. I will respond. No, it's just Force of Will. Because if they Force of Will back, well, they didn't. But if they did, I could have gotten them with Hull Breacher. Back for 3. Pass the turn. They play Flooded Strand. Dig Through Time. I will play another Hull Breacher. I get 2 treasures here, which actually it allows me. Oh no, they get to choose 1. Okay, I thought I would get 2, so that doesn't allow me to Lorien Revealed. I lied. Mox Pearl, Collector. Oof, brutal. Swing for 6. I will pass. They have an island, 2 cards in their hand. They did not swing. We draw Bolas' Citadel right on time. Swing batter, swing. So they'll block and take 3. They have 2 cards in their hand. I'm going to try to cast this Lorien Revealed. Storm 2. They have Hardcast Force of Will. Okay. We will attack again. They're at 3. Bryant Cook, they call me. Just love attacking. That's what I'm known for. They're at 3. I think we've got them. I don't know what they would have here. I'm not sure what just happened, but I won. My opponent was complaining in chat, and then all of a sudden it just started another game. Like, I kid you not. We're still in the same match. I had lethal on board, and it just restarted another game. My opponent's literally complaining about my draw, and all of a sudden Magic Online just restarted. No way. I have to mulligan. Let's see if I can 3-0 this person. We'll get rid of Island. Unbelievable. If they had just conceded instead of complaining in chat, I think I would have won this 2-0. So it shows that complaining pays. We'll play Mox Ruby, Black Lotus, pass the turn. Can't believe this. They're just getting a free game. I wonder what it's going to show when all is said and done. Will it just pretend the last game didn't happen? We're grabbing a Thundering Falls here. I need to find something to do. Think I keep that? I'm not really sure. Brainstorm. There we go. Get rid of Yawgmoth's Will and Force of Negation. No, actually, Force of Negation allows me to double protect. Get rid of the Flow State. In case things go south, I can cast it. Time Twister. The Force of Negation. I will Force of Will, exiling Force of Will. Spell Pierce. I guess I'll pay. Time Twister. We'll play Mana Crypt. They fetch again. For a Tundra. Another Spell Pierce I cannot pay. We'll play Mox Jet. Mox Emerald. Mox Sapphire. Stock up. Another Force. Pass the turn. And they have the Lavinia, so I can't play Lorien Revealed. Wow. Okay. I need a Braid here. Can't play Stock Up. I don't have 3 lands. It also would have been fine if they didn't have these Wastelands. Brutal. They swing. I'm at 16. I can't even cast a Braid now. Play the Misty Rainforest and pass. They play Ponder and Scalding Tarn. Tropical Island. Collector Roof. Yeah, sometimes your opponent just has it. I'm at 14. Now we draw the Hull Breacher a turn too late. I guess I should cycle this Lorien Revealed. What am I doing? I'm too busy focused on how badly I'm losing, and I could have cycled the Lorien Revealed. And now I'm punished because they have a Treasure Cruise. Bryant, get your head in the game. They swing, I go to 10. I was so focused on Lorien Reveal being card advantage that I just wasn't thinking about cycling it. Guess I'll grab Underground Sea. We'll play the land, pass. They have 6 cards in their hand. We'll fetch. Grab another Underground Sea. Attempt a Hull Breacher. They have Swords to Plowshares, so I'll go up to 12 and then take 4 down to 8. Demonic Tutor. Play the Volcanic. Demonic Tutor. So I do have a long goodbye here. The question is, do you remove the Collector Oof or the Lavinia? And I think it's the Collector Oof. I'm going to pass. I can kill a creature on their turn. They have land number 3. Mox Emerald. Up the Beanstalk. 4 cards in their hand. No way, the game just restarted again. No way. This is wild. Mulligan. We'll keep, put Lorien Revealed on the bottom. They have Mox Pearl and turn 1 Quantum Riddler. Sure. We'll play Basic Island, Mox Ruby, Soul Ring, Time Walk, and the Force of Negation. I will pass. Tropical Island, and Collector Oof. Yep. We'll play Thundering Falls, keep the Hull Breacher, pass. They cycle Lorien Revealed for a Tundra. 2 cards still in their hand. I will go to 18. Play the Scalding Tarn, pass the turn. They cycle another Lorien Revealed, although it says Force of Negation on it. Magic Online is certainly working right now. They're floating 2 blue mana and playing Gush. I'm going to attempt a Hull Breacher. My Hull Breacher resolves. I get some treasures that I can't use. They have Swords to Plowshares. Okay. So they still have 1 land in their hand. Yawgmoth's Will. Not a real great card here. We'll play Flow State. Take the Gitaxian Probe. Pay life for the pay life for the Gitaxian Probe. They have 2 lands. Okay. Pass the turn. They play the Tundra, so they still have Basic Island. And now Magic Online says, good game, it's a draw. What? Look at this. 101. And that counts as a loss? I'm counting that as a win. We're 2-0.
Building a new deck usually means getting hit with a dozen different shipping fees from a dozen different sellers. It adds up fast, and honestly, it's the worst part of buying cards. That's why I switched to Card Trader Zero. You shop their global marketplace, but instead of having every seller ship to you, they ship to Card Trader's hub first. Card Trader then packs everything into a single shipment for you, and it saves a small fortune on shipping fees. This package from Card Trader just arrived. These are 4 Dark Rituals that came from 4 different sellers, but they all arrived in 1 envelope, and every card was quality checked by the Card Trader team before it hit my door. Check out the link in the description to try Card Trader Zero's optimizer for yourself. Stop paying for multiple shipments and get just 1.
Alright, we're back. So, it's been a few hours and Magic Online has nullified the previous match as though it never happened. However, I recorded it and in my eyes, I won 2-0 before a technical glitch. So, I'm counting it. We're going to try to see if we can 6-0 this Vintage League. They've reimbursed me too, so I get a chance to double up my money. And now we're on the play versus Inspector Carl in what I'm going to be calling round number 3. I think we keep this. So we have turn 1 Surveil, force your turn 1 play, and potentially fully unlocked Flow State on turn 2. Do I want that? I don't think so. We'll get rid of the Urza Saga. Pass the turn. Okay, so some sort of non-blue deck for once. Turn 1 Sphere of Resistance. We will Force of Will that. Black Lotus. Okay. We will fetch. They still have 5 cards in their hand. We'll grab Underground Sea, play Flow State. That could have been better. I guess we'll take Vampiric Tutor here. I think the Force of Negation line is just not good. Like, playing to not lose isn't what we want to be doing. Vampiric Tutor is giving us the opportunity to potentially win. Chalice of the Void for 0. Trinisphere. That's obnoxious. Okay. I don't think we can actually win this. Play the Scalding Tarn and we'll pass. Now they have Mishra's Workshop and a Golos. I mean, you got me. Okay, so we lose game number 1 versus Golos Shops. We're bringing a Braid, Mindbreak Trap. Whoops, I was not trying to bring in Long Goodbye. The Hercule's Recall. I wonder how crazy the Sphinx of the Steel Wind is. We do not need Hexing Squelcher. Get rid of the Flusterstorm. 62 cards. We could probably get rid of the Hull Breacher. Maybe the Time Twister too, if that's the case. Let's try this. Actually, I can get rid of the Vexing. Oh, it's not going to let me. I could side out the Vexing Bauble here. Yeah, it's not letting me. Okay, if there's another game, I will sideboard it out. On the play. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So this has the Hercule's Recall. It's just the rest of the hand is very slow. I think I'm actually going to keep it. So my game plan here is turn 1 Urza Saga. And eventually, the Saga would hit Chapter 3. We go get something like Mana Crypt, Hercule's Recall, and at some point Mystical Tutor for Tinker. And we'll pass. They play Ancient Tomb. No play. So Disruptor Flute. Here it is. The name Urza Saga. Thundering Falls. We'll play Volcanic Island and pass. Patchwork Automaton. Another Ancient Tomb. And Null Rod. Okay. So I just want to think through this. So end step I can Hercule's Recall. Upkeep Mystical Tutor for Tinker. Go grab Mana Crypt. Cast Tinker? I mean, this seems to work to me. End step Hercule's Recall you. Upkeep Mystical Tutor. We'll grab Tinker. We'll float mana with the Saga. We even have Lorien Revealed to shuffle here, which is really nice. We'll select Mana Crypt. Play the Underground Sea. Tinker sacrificing Mana Crypt. This is spell 2, so it also gets underneath Mindbreak Trap. Grab the Bolas Citadel. I guess I'm paying 5 life here. Lorien Revealed. We'll play Mox Ruby. I will get Taxium Probe going down to 13. They did not have Mindbreak Trap. Yawgmoth's Will is my top card. Do I want to cast it? I think so. I am at 10. I'll go to 8 and Gitaxian Probe. Play Mox Emerald. We will cycle a Lorien Revealed. Pull out Underground Sea. Stock Up brings me down to 5. Stock Up, Manifold Key, and Flow State. Or is it better to take the Force of Negation? It might be better to do Force of Negation in case things go south. Another land on top. We'll cycle Lorien Revealed. A Braid. I don't think I want to cast a Braid, but I need that Tinker in my graveyard to be my win condition. To go grab Sphinx of the Steel Wind. So many lands. I think I'll just pass here. Discard Thundering Falls. I guess I could have played Key. My bad. They have Wasteland. They play Null Rod. They destroy Underground Sea. So they're going to hold open Disruptor Flute. End step, I will destroy the Null Rod. I'll go to 3. We'll draw the Force of Negation. Time Walk would put me to 1. Let's play Stock Up. We'll take Mox Pearl, Time Walk. Demonic Tutor's the top card. Okay, so I think we might actually have it. Play the Time Walk. And now I'll go to 1. We'll go get Time Vault. They flash in Disruptor Flute. That's fine with me. Good luck naming the right card. Oh, they did. Good for them. Okay, so we'll grab Time Vault. We're going to draw the island. Sphinx of the Steel Wind right on top where I wanted it. Alright, so we'll begin by bouncing the Disruptor Flute. We will play Time Vault, play Key, and let's untap the Time Vault. Infinite turns. Okay, so we'll play the Misty. I'm still at 1. Untap the Time Vault. Take another turn. We'll draw the Stock Up. Untap the Time Vault. Take another turn. Play Stock Up. We'll take Tolarian Academy and Black Lotus. Play the Academy. Play Black Lotus. Academy taps for a lot. I guess we'll just go to the next turn. We'll untap the Time Vault. Another turn. And now we'll tap the Academy. Play Sphinx of the Steel Wind. They'll get to see the Sphinx. Oh well. And now they concede. But now we're on the draw. Okay. No changes on my side. So just an observation, without having... This hand is good if you don't get like locked out on turn 1. Because you have turn 1 stock up. It's just like, is that a real possibility? It's just like, without Sensei's Divining Top, the point I'm going back to is I feel like we're not actually that great of a Citadel deck. But this hand is basically a mulligan with the Sphinx in it. But you have turn 1 stock up, which is really powerful. Against better judgment, I'm going to keep. They play Urza Saga, Soul Ring, Black Lotus, Vexing Bauble. No! Ah, brutal. Of course we draw Force of Will, right on time. We'll play Gitaxian Probe for mana. Disruptor Flute, Golos, Mindbreak Trap. What a hand. At least if it was like turn 1 Sphere Resistance, I could still play my artifacts. Like, Vexing Bauble was by far the worst one. And now they have a Scrawling Crawler. I lose a life. We'll cycle the Lorien Revealed. Go grab Thundering Falls. We'll play it. I do not need Mindbreak Trap. Pass. I need Hurkyl's Recall. That's actually what I need here. We draw Urza Saga. They make another construct. They grab Grafdigger's Cage. And they drew Wasteland. Oh, wow. I don't think there's anything we could draw. I'm in 9. Oh, brutal. Hurkyl's Recall? Yeah, it had to be exactly Hurkyl's Recall. There's no out here. So I can destroy the Bauble and play Mana Crypt plus Pearl, but that doesn't do anything for me. I could kill a Construct, but I'm actually still dead on board. They just got me. Yeah? Okay, so we lose. We are now Asterix 2-1. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Match number 4, we're on the draw. This hand is like okay. Like, I think it's like a low level keep. You could keep this and like play Magic, but if your opponent's not on another blue deck, like a slow blue deck, you just get punished. I'm going to mulligan. Much better. We'll keep. Get rid of Urza Saga. It's the worst card in this hand. Mox Emerald, Mox Jet, and a Wasteland. Why? Why Magic Online? Why are you like this? And we're off to game 2. Ah, jeez. Bring in Hurkyl's Recall, Abrade, Sphinx of the Steel Wind, Mindbreak Trap, goodbye to Hexing Squelcher, the Vexing Bauble. I also forgot to board out Bauble last round after I said I would. Board out the Flusterstorms, goodbye to Hull Breacher, the Time Twister. We'll bring in a Dismember. Let's try this. Sure. I mean, this hand is like pretty good. This actually reminds me of like an old like sort of meme. Back in like the pandemic era, I was playing a lot of Vintage, and I remember some friends sent me a clip from Canister's stream. Somebody asked Canister, who's the one player you don't want to face on Magic Online? And Canister responded with, Bryant Cook. He always opens up force blue card Tinker on turn 1. Time Walk, I think, is the pick here. So the reason I think it's Time Walk is you could Force of Will their turn 1 play, exiling Hurkyl's Recall, play your Thundering Falls, Time Walk, Tinker on the following turn. They play Mana Crypt, Patchwork Automaton, sure. Mox Jet, brutal, the Wasteland here. Yep, throws a wrench in my game plan. We'll play Brainstorm, put back Thundering Falls and Urza Saga. Play Scalding Tarn, pass. They win their Mana Crypt flip. They play Ghost Quarter. Scrawling Crawler. I think I'm okay with letting this happen. I'll take 3 here. We lose a life. I'll play Urza Saga. Ghost Quarter. I can now go grab a basic. And now I will fetch. We'll grab Volcanic Island. Play Tinker, sacrificing the Mox Sapphire. Sphinx of the Steel Wind. Pass the turn. So I now have Urkel's Recall, Time Walk, Chain of Vapor in my favor. And obviously Force of Will as well. Another Scrawling Crawler. I'm going to Force of Will that, I think. Actually, no, maybe I should let it go. Because I can just Urkel's Recall them. Upkeep, Urkel's Recall, and they concede. Okay, so we're off to game 3, but I will be on the draw again versus the Prison deck, which is not a spot I want to be in. Alright, game 3. I've opened up a really good hand, except for the fact that I don't have a blue card for this Force of Negation. I don't think I was punished enough last round, so we're going to keep this. I really wish I had a blue card. They play their own turn 1 Urza Saga, Mox Pearl, Mox Jet, no other turn 1 play, okay. Lorien Revealed, well I guess I have a blue card now. We'll play Mox Jet, Urza Saga, Time Vault. I'm playing it as the second spell to avoid Mindbreak Trap. Although their Saga will hit the 3rd chapter before mine, so if they have a Pithing Needle, I do not have the win. They have Wasteland, Nettle Cyst. I'm fine letting that resolve. They could have just made a Construct instead. I think that this is a little aggressive. 2 cards in their hand. Let's Gitaxian Probe, Mystic Forge Golos, Sol Ring, Tolarian Academy, Lorien Revealed. Pass the turn. They're not making a Construct again. They grab Sol Ring. I will Force of Negation, exile Flow State. No, let's do Lorien Revealed. Flow State's just cheaper. Black Lotus. I get hit for 5, I go to 13. Bolas' Citadel. Alright, so we'll play Underground Sea. And let's Flow State. I have instant and sorcery in the graveyard. I'll take a pair of stock up. We'll play the first stock up here. I'm at 13. I think it's just the 2 Moxen. They have Golos in their hand as their 1 spell. Might be a little greedy. I think I'm going to stock up. Like, you could hold open the Urkel's Recall, Ancestral Recall, and Flow State. I'll play Ancestral Recall. Pass the turn. We're in a good spot. They attack for 5. I'll go to 8. They play 7/7 Stonecoil Serpent, which is just fine when I'm sitting on this Urkel's Recall. We draw Force of Negation. Let's begin by casting Brainstorm. There's the Sphinx of the Steel Wind. I think this game's wrapped up now. We'll play the Flooded Strand, tap Tolarian Academy, Urkel's Recall, target you. Actually, we don't need to do that this turn. I mean, we could, but I just want to make sure that I can play Sphinx plus Time Walk. And now we'll play Time Walk, fetch, grab the Thundering Falls that I put back off the Brainstorm, get rid of Misty Rainforest. No, I will fetch down to 6. We'll grab Underground Sea, Urkel's Recall, target you, black, 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 colorless, white, Bolas' Citadel. We'll play Flow State, take stock up and Mystical Tutor. We'll play stock up, Manifold Key, Black Lotus. That's the ball game. Let's go. We'll go to combat, attack for 6, Black Lotus, sacrifice it. We'll play the key. Our opponent says GG's, GG's to our opponent, and we got revenge on Golos Shops. We're now 3-1 with 2 matches left to go. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Alright, back for round number 5. We have Citadel in hand. We have Time Vault. We have turn 2 Tinker, but that's not even good here because we have the Citadel in our hand. I think this is actually a mulligan, which feels crazy to me. Like, you can Mystical Tutor for Ancestral or, like, stock up. Maybe that's fine. We'll keep. Maybe I'm just being crazy. We'll play Underground Sea, Mana Crypt, Time Vault, pass the turn. They have their own Mana Crypt. Volcanic Island, Squelcher, okay. Soul Ring that I cannot counter due to the Hexing Squelcher, Mana Vault. I'm in trouble. Okay, so I guess I'm grabbing Ancestral Recall here. Mystical Tutor. I really wish this Bolas' Citadel wasn't in my hand. We'll grab Ancestral Recall. Mana Crypt. I win the flip. We'll attempt an Ancestral Recall. And it resolves, but it's not particularly good. We'll play a Hexing Squelcher. Pass. They play an Underground Sea. Yak Fade, and oh, I was not expecting that. That's going to steal my Time Vault. Wow. Yep. We are in trouble. Tails. Draw. Hull Breacher. Pretty good with Yak Faded in play, I have to say. It might actually give me the mana I need to cast Bolas' Citadel. Oh, they just have Upkeep Vampiric Tutor. Oh, jeez. Okay. Brutal. I think we want Mindbreak Trap and a Braid. Take out Chain of Vapor. I actually think Baubles look kind of bad in the mirror just because of Hexing Squelcher. I don't mind Hull Breachers. The question is, like, what are you cutting? Because you're at 64 cards. They likely have Hull Breacher as well, so you could try to board out Lorien Revealed. Yeah, I wonder if this is crazy. I think this is my game plan, but it's very reactive on the play. So it's turn 1 Squelcher, and then you have to hope to draw a mana for Time Twister. Okay. We'll play Mox Ruby. They do not seem to have any like, they're F6'd. So part of me is like, they must not even have interaction. Like, everything's just resolving. Mox Emerald, Mox Ruby, Hexing Squelcher, Lotus Petal. I did not hit the mana. Get in there. I'm definitely in the worst spot out of the two of us, because I know that their hand doesn't have interaction in it. And my hand is all interaction versus a Squelcher. Yeah. Interesting that they're playing Gifts and Given without Lurrus of the Dream Den. They have 3 cards in their hand. I choose the 2 that go to the graveyard. So if I give them Academy Black Lotus, we hope that they don't have a land. And then I get 1 turn to spike a blue source for Time Twister. So we're going to put the mana to the graveyard. They play Cincy's Divining Top. Looks like they don't have the blue mana. That'll do. So now we can Time Twister. Here we go. Do the twist. We found Ancestral Recall again. But my hand doesn't win. So I've played my land. I mean, I guess I can Ancestral Recall here, but I'm probably dead. The counterspell doesn't help me due to Hexing Squelcher. We will get rid of, I don't know, Urza Saga? Have to hope that somehow they don't have a win. They play Soul Ring, Mox Pearl. There's their blue mana. I'm going to click on Force of Negation, so that way they think that I might have Mindbreak Trap. And then we'll let it go. They want blue mana, apparently. We'll put Time Walk and Black Lotus to the graveyard. They play the Mox Sapphire and the Lotus Petal. 4 cards still in hand. And they have the Underworld Breach. We're dead. Well, I guess they have to have the Brain Freeze. I mean, if they have the Brain Freeze too, like, congratulations. Wow, you just had it all. Yeah, we're dead. Crazy. I wonder if they're even playing Counter Magic, because they were just F6'd. So that tells me that their list might not even have Counter Magic in it. Maybe they're just playing 4 Squelchers, but they crushed me. So what do I know? And we are now 3-2. The Gold Sabertooth times the Epic Storm collection has arrived with 3 full-size tokens showcasing the beloved Dark Ritual, CDH Rogsai, and Legacy of the Epic Storm for just $5. On the backs of these tokens, there's a place for my signature or a custom message. In addition to these sweet tokens, a friendly reminder that all orders that ship from theepicstorm.com also come with a signed Storm token from yours truly. The final match. We are on the play. Are we allowed to keep this? We have a Surveil land. I'm going to keep. It might be crazy. We'll play Scalding Tarn, Mox Sapphire, Mox Ruby, pass the turn. They play Basic Island, and pass back. We will fetch. Thundering Falls. I would love to see a stock up here. I guess we'll keep Hexing Squelcher. Not really what I wanted, but that's okay. Hexing Squelcher, pass the turn. They play Mana Crypt and Tinker. I will play Flusterstorm. Now they have an Urza Saga. 5 cards still in their hand. We'll play Tolarian Academy, Vexing Bauble, and swing. Urza Saga goes to the 2nd chapter. They play Underground Sea, Time Twister. Alright, we'll play it. I guess if they have the 1 Hull Breacher, I get blown out. Is it worth the risk? I can try to see what they have here by attacking first. I'll pass. I don't really want to play into Hull Breacher. There's a Saga. They make another construct. Grabs Black Lotus. Thundering Falls. It appears to be the mirror match. They still get to hold open their Hull Breacher. Need a blue card or a mana. That is a mana, I believe. No, it's not. It's a break even. Alright, maybe I should have just gone for it last turn. We'll play Time Twister and probably lose to the one of Hull Breacher. Here it is. You gotta be kidding me. Ugh. Why? I guess I can try to spike off of the bobble. Need a blue card. Okay. There we go. Counter the Hull Breacher. Time Twister. So I can cycle a Lorien Revealed for a black source and play Demonic Tutor. The real issue is that I can't get to the mana. I will Mystical Tutor here. And this might be a little ambitious. I'm going to grab Time Walk. And my hope here is that when I flow state, I hit a Mox so that way I can play my land and then Time Walk. I did not. Take Hull Breacher. Was really, really hoping to hit a Mox. We will pass. They play Mox Ruby and their own Hexing Squelcher, so anything's fair game now. Ancestral Recall. They play a land. They can attack for 6. No blocks. I mean, if I get to untap, I just have the win. And it appears that I do. I'll cycle the Lorien Revealed so that way we can go grab an Underground Sea. Play the Underground Sea. Demonic Tutor. Ooh, we got there. Okay, so we've taken game number 1 in the mirror match. We'll bring in the second copy of Mindbreak Trap. I think we were just boarding the same as we did in match 1. Or the previous match, I mean. Round 5. Although I do think that Hull Breacher is less good here. Probably get rid of the Time Twister. Goodbye to the Chain of Vapor. The Vexing Bauble. I didn't mean to board in the Sphinx. It kind of just happened. And the Portal to Phyrexia. I don't want you here. We'll shave 1 Lorien Revealed. Let's try this. Like, this deck actually doesn't draw that many cards. Like, yes, you have Brainstorm and Ancestral Recall, and technically Lorien Revealed, but when you look at the deck, it's a stock-up flow state deck. You're not drawing that many cards. I will keep Mox Jet. They cycle a Lorien Revealed for a Thundering Falls. Unfortunately, we drew a land. We'll play Mox Jet, pass the turn. They play a land, stock up. I'm going to Flusterstorm this. They have 4 cards in their hand. We draw Force of Will. I'm going to just pass here. You could think about trying to destroy their Mox Jet to slow them down so that way Mindbreak is more active, but I think that's just a losing fight. This flow state is not leveled up. They only have sorcery. They fetch with Scalding Tarn, and it appears that they're just passing. Squelcher. I guess I'll play a Hexing Squelcher. Pass the turn. Long goodbye. Okay. And now they flow state. Unfortunately, this one is now leveled up. I don't think it's worth burning a Force of Will and a Mindbreak Trap on that. Another flow state. Sheesh. Yep. 6 cards in their hand. They play Misty Rainforest. Hull Breacher. We will pass. Stock up. They're just burying me in card advantage. I will pay 4 mana for Mindbreak Trap. This is why Breacher isn't very good in the matchup and why I didn't board in the others. Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, they're playing this well. I'm not trying to blame them here. It's just things are not aligning well for me. They Force of Will, exiling Force of Will. They have 5 cards in their hand. They play Mox Sapphire, Mox Emerald. 3 cards left. We'll probe paying life in case I draw into something good. A braid, Force of Will. So it looks like we're actually in a similar spot here. Lorien Revealed. So if I spend 5 mana for that, they can just spend 5 mana for their Force of Will, so it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to play this. They drew another land. Black Lotus. I think I'll just pass. They fetch with Polluted Delta. 5 cards in their hand. Vampiric Tutor. Okay. 6 cards in their hand now. They play Soul Ring. I will Vampiric Tutor. I think I'm actually supposed to just grab Flow State here, as crazy as that is. He doesn't get blown out by Hull Breacher, which is like a big deal. We'll play Flow State. They Force of Will. They have 2 unknowns. I'm going to just Force of Will back. We know that they still have double Abrade. One of the unknowns was a Flusterstorm. Here I am sitting with Black Lotus in hand. I did consider playing it out, but I didn't because of the double Abrade. Okay, so they have 1 unknown card in their hand. Manifold Key. Still one unknown. Valerian Academy. They might blow up my Mox Jet now, but I doubt it. Vexing Bauble, sure. We draw Mox Ruby, pass the turn. 4 cards in their hand. Demonic Tutor. So if this is Time Vault, we can destroy it. Is your one unknown card a counter spell? Play the Abrade, killing Time Vault. It apparently is a counter spell. I'll float a mana. It's another Flusterstorm? Wow. Okay. So we lose game 2. No changes on my side. On the play for the final game of this vintage league. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to keep this. What does this do? It allows me to go really hard into Force of Will or Force of Negation. I will keep, I guess. Bottom the Abrade. We'll play Black Lotus, Underground Sea, and Stock Up. Apparently that resolved. Wow. We'll take Ancestral Recall, Mox Jet, play the Mox Jet, pass. And then in their upkeep, I'm going to Ancestral Recall. This plays around both Mindbreak Trap and Force of Negation. Ancestral Recall. No, that's a hand. They play Mox Jet. Urza Saga. We find another flow state. We'll play the first one. I think we just want both lands here. As crazy as that seems. Play Thundering Falls. Get rid of the Urza Saga. I just don't need it here. Pass. They cycle Lorien Revealed. Urza Saga goes to the second chapter. They play Volcanic Island. Yeah, you have a Hexing Squelcher. And that is an Abrade. We'll play our own Hexing Squelcher so that way the Abrade is uncounterable. And they don't know that I have the Abrade, so I might be able to get them with these Mindbreak Traps, depending on what they try to do. Saga to the third chapter. They find Black Lotus. Well, I guess Mindbreak works through Hexing Squelcher. Make them pay the 2 life for that first. And then we will Abrade to kill their Squelcher in response. So we'll pay the ward. And then I think I'm actually going to let mine die. I need to make sure I don't lose the game because I feel like I'm in a favorable spot as long as I don't throw. And now they flow state. This is only the second spell for them. We're going to let that happen. They have 4 cards. So I can Demonic Tutor for Tinker here. There's nothing stopping me from doing that, other than the fact that I would potentially get blown out by a Flusterstorm. So I think I'm going to flow state first. I don't really want to lose to Flusterstorm. We'll take Time Walk and Time Vault. I guess I'm a mana short through that method. I guess we'll take Squelcher. Play Time Walk. And they're going to Flusterstorm me here. A little surprised by this. Pass the turn. They cycle Lorien Revealed. They play their land, 3 cards. Time Walk, sure. They have 1 card. I think I have to let this go. Because if their last card is Tinker, or Mystical for Tinker, the game could just slip away from me. No, I'm just going to do it. We're going to force. If they have Tinker, they have Tinker. I just can't let them bury me with card advantage. Stock up. They have 3 cards in hand, and so do I. Flusterstorm. Okay, so let's do Hexing Squelcher. And then Demonic Tutor for Tinker. And then I have 2 ways to not lose the game. So that way I can untap. We'll go grab Tinker. Pass the turn. And they just conceded the match. Okay, so we got the official 3-2, but really a 4-2. Okay, so what did I think of the deck? I think if I was to play this again, I would change some stuff, if I'm being completely honest with you. As cool as Time Twister Hull Breacher is, I don't think you need it. I would probably play the Sensi's Divining Top, and then I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I feel like the flow states are a tiny bit difficult to turn on. So I'd probably want something lower to the ground. I also don't think you really need the main deck Chain of Vapor. I'd rather play like a Sink in a Stupor or something. Maybe that's crazy in your Bolas Citadel deck. But I feel like Chain of Vapor is almost like a wasted slot. Like, it doesn't seem particularly good to me. I understand that it answers Archon of Emeria and a bunch of other things. I am wondering if there's a better card we could play. That's all I'm trying to say here. Because it doesn't feel particularly good. And I think that's a big issue. So I would look at those. I'm kind of tempted to play a 3rd Hexing Squelcher just because the card is so good. It's also good versus all of the non-blue decks due to Vexing Bauble. So I like that a lot. I don't really have too many notes on the sideboard. I don't know if you need 3 Hull Breachers, but then again, we didn't pair into Jewel Shops at all, which is the matchup you want those for. We did face Golos Shops twice, which is not that popular of a deck, and it's a matchup where I was punished for cutting the second Hurkyl's Recall. So if you want a second Hurkyl's Recall, I completely get it. After playing my dry run off-camera league, I didn't face Bizarre decks once after facing them 3 times yesterday. So Leyline of the Void didn't really come up here. But I think the deck's pretty good. I like it. It's really mana hungry though. Like, I think that's the one thing that I've noticed is like you never feel like you have enough mana. So you could also look at playing something like Mana Vault. Granted, you can't tap Mana Vault over and over again for like stock ups and stuff, but it would help you accelerate into like Lorien Revealed or big Tinker turns, things like that. It's just a thought. It might not be a good one, but it's something you could consider. I just don't think you actually need Time Twister Hull Breacher in order to win with Bolas' Citadel. So I think those would be the slots that I think are the most flexible. If you disagree, tell me why in the comment section. I really would love to hear from you. But that's what I've got for today. So it was a blast casting Tinker again. Hopefully you enjoyed it too. Like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff, and I will see you another day. And as always, keep storming. Thank you for checking out today's video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. But in our description, you'll find a link to our Discord where you can talk about the deck with other like-minded individuals of varying skill types. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or an expert. There's people there looking to talk combo. Join our Discord.